Good evening, vinyl community. This is DJ Reed, welcoming you to another show. We're going to look at the year 1963, the latter part. We won't get into 1964. I have way too much material here to show you because the fall of 1963 there was a lot going on. There was a new album being produced by the Beatles called With the Beatles, with this song listing. And you see It Won't Be Long, All I've Got to Do, and All My Loving, Don't Bother Me by George, Little Child, Till There Was You by Paul, Please Mr. Postman, and then George's great rocker, Roll Over Beethoven, Hold Me Tight, You Really Got a Hold on Me, I Want to Be Your Man by Ringo, Devil in Her Heart by George, Not a Second Time, and Money, sung by John's raspy voice on those two amazing rock and roll tracks. So this album would be released November 22nd, 1963, and of course that was the day JFK was assassinated. So it's kind of a bittersweet date. I don't really want to mention the date too much because of the assassination, but it was during that day that they released the album. It was too late, too little, too late. So there was no celebration. So, but the world was in shock, and they say that the Beatles, with their success, brought the world some sort of peace and relief from the tragic death of JFK. So that's the only way to look at it. The Beatles phenomena brought the young people and the generation back then some sort of relief. I remember the day JFK died. I was at Queensward School in Paris, and we were in the gymnasium doing a speech contest when suddenly the principal came in and said the President of the United States has been assassinated. So we knew right from that moment, and it was just, I think it was around 3 o'clock he announced it. It was just before the end of class. And it was during these days that the Beatles had released the With the Beatles album. This is a mono copy of it. Get Ringo's picture in there. This is Robert Freeman's photo, and you see how the faces are half lit. That was a stellar photo from Robert Freeman back then, and a lot of people copied his photography with the half face, the half lit face. And this is a 1987 copy of With the Beatles. That's the Canadian pressing on Capitol. Mint condition. This is this copy here is a mono copy, British copy, and it's 180 gram, Great Britain, Parlophone. And before they recorded this album, the Beatles in October of 24th, 1963, went up to Sweden to do a radio show. And this is a CD I purchased commemorating this radio show. Swedish radio show. And it's a numbered copy. They only did so many copies. I got 176. Along with that, I got at a record show, I got a single of the same show. This only has 2 songs, She Loves You on side A and Twist and Shout on side B. They did those 2 songs on the radio show in Sweden. So this is a Swedish live by the Beatles. Stockholm, Sweden, you can read that. And that'd be the B side. That'd be the Twist and Shout side. And it's got the Union Jack on there. It's beautiful. Please Please Me single came out in 1963. And this is a Norwegian copy on Parlophone. Ask Me Why on the B side. It's kind of a greenish copy, or kind of a bluish greenish. This is a dark green copy of Parlophone. This is it's a Parlophone copy. For Me to You, and Thank You Girl. And here's the cover. And back then they put some of the highlight songs back then. You see Devil Woman by Marty Robbins, Ramblin' Rose by Nat King Cole. So those songs were popular back then, and this For Me to You song by the Beatles was out then. And the last program, here's For Me to You, Parlophone. And Thank You Girl, of course the B-side. That's a British copy. You can see at the bottom, made in Great Britain. And I've kept these records as good as I can. They're mint condition. This is a EP, an extended play. It's got 4 songs rather than 2. Ask Me Why and Anna. This is the VJ American copy, US. And on the other side is Misery and A Taste of Honey. John Lennon doing 3 of the 4 vocals back then. He was the main singer back in those days, the early days. Paul did a few, but Paul would be more prominent as the years went on. Here's George's Do You Want to Know a Secret, written by John Lennon and Paul McCartney. And then Thank You Girl. It's hard to read because I think it's an older single and it's faded or got ripped or something. It's just not quite there, but it is Thank You Girl on the VJ Records. And here's the Beatles, Liverpool visiting Stockholm. This is the radio show, and I got this on vinyl. I'm so proud to get this on a vinyl record. It's just a few songs, so it's only a one-sided album because there's only a few songs from the radio show on it. And see, this side's blank. It's just one side. But it's nice to have. That's the whole radio show in Sweden, Stockholm, Sweden. And She Loves You and Twist and Shout are the last 2 numbers they did. Roll Over Beethoven, You Really Got a Hold on Me, Misery, From Me to You. I saw her standing there, opens the live show. And the last 2 cuts are on that single I just showed you with She Loves You and the picture disc. So That's all I'm going to show today. I hope you enjoyed the show. There's a lot of things there. Um, the next time we'll show the release of I Want to Hold Your Hand. That's going to be a lot of things there because it's 1964. But I wanted to finish off 1963 today, and a lot of good things there, eh? The Beatles were busy lads back then, and they did live. You see some live, you see some studio works, and this is the beginning of Beatlemania. It just took off like a rocket, and it was during the time, unfortunately, of JFK's assassination. The world was in shock, and the Beatles brought forth something that gave the generation back then some life and hope. And you've seen the hysteria of the young people worldwide. So it was good days. So we'll talk to you once again soon, and I wish you well during these days, that everything is healthy for you, and you're moving on in life very well. So peace and love. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.